If you feel like the way you go about your mornings currently does not set you up for the rest of your day, or if you know that you want some kind of morning routine so you're not going straight into stress mode, going to work right after getting out of bed, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to tell you what you need to know to create and follow through with a morning routine that works for you. This may sound super cliche, but your mornings really do set the tone for your day. If you start the day in a rushed or stressed state, then you're more likely to carry that with you through the rest of the day, leaving you to be a little bit more on edge, maybe more stressed, more likely to be reactive, feeling more tired and wired for the rest of your day. But if you start your day a little bit slower in a more relaxed state, and especially if you do something that helps you feel good, then that's going to bleed into the rest of your day as well, likely leading you to feel a little bit more joyful, more energized. You're probably going to be able to think clearer and respond to situations better as well. I have completely shifted the way I approach my mornings, and it has changed my days so much. And I do not have any kind of 10-step process. My morning routines don't have that much to them, but just by approaching them a little bit differently, it's made such an impact on my day. To give you a quick snapshot of my experience, way back in the day, my alarm would go off and the first thought in my head was, I can't wait to get back in bed. Then I would jump out of bed, throw some clothes on, brush my teeth, maybe put on makeup, probably not, rush and grab all my things, run out the door. More often than not, I would have to come back because I forgot something, and then I would be rushing to school. This was back in my college days. And approaching my morning that way really just led me to feel that much more stress. I could tell I was more agitated on my drive to school, which I live in Austin, so for those of you who know Austin traffic, not a fun time. And then I'd be starting my day in this slightly agitated, rushed state, just amping up my nervous system, and that would bleed into my day and how I felt for the rest of the day. I can't say I ever hit a point where I was like, okay, this definitely isn't working for me. I need to create a new morning routine. But in general, I started to work on my overall health, as well as started to work on a little bit of personal development. And those two things combined led me to just start approaching my mornings a little different. And it is so cool when you start your day and you feel so energized and you feel so good and ready to take on the day versus when you're just like, okay, let me get through this day. I can't wait to go back home and be in bed again. Now, obviously, other factors play into feeling that way about our day-to-day and about our lives. But we're just talking about mornings here. So many of my clients and people that I talk to in my day-to-day have mentioned how they want to have mornings where they feel like they ease into their day. They want to have a little bit more structure, feel like it's a little bit more organized, and to have a morning routine that they enjoy. So let's talk about morning routines and what you can do to start the day in the mood that you want to. I'm going to touch on one main point that you need to keep top of mind when it comes to creating a morning routine for yourself, and 4 things I highly recommend including in your morning routine. That first main point is to think about a morning routine that actually works really well for you. There is so much content out there around you should do this in the mornings, you should do that to improve your health, to boost your productivity, to feel really good, to manifest your dream life. All of that information is fine and good, and you can take inspiration from it and play around with, okay, what do I think I want to have in my morning routine? But there is no one perfect morning routine that is going to create your best day or your best life. And there are no specific things that you have to do in your morning routine or even that you need to do every single morning. Outside of thinking about what you really want and what might work best for you, think about your current life circumstances. Based on your current lifestyle, your current life circumstances, what you have going on will definitely play a role in what morning routine is going to work best for you right now. Point being, the idea isn't to make the most ideal morning routine or to follow through with that. For example, my most ideal morning routine would take so much more time than what I currently allot for my mornings. I already get up at 5:30 a.m. and am often out of the door by 6:30 a.m. So Even though there are more things I would love to do in my mornings, and I would absolutely love to have more time in my mornings, I am not currently willing to wake up earlier to make that happen. So you do not have to live out and do your most ideal morning routine in order for your morning to set you up to feel really good in your day. You can write out and list out what your dream morning looks like, all the things that you wish you could do in the morning, the amount of time that would take, and have that vision, and then just think about, okay, do I have this much time before I have to start work? Am I willing to get up this much earlier? And again, the whole point of all of this is to set yourself up to feel really good going into your day. So the last thing that we want is to create something that makes you feel overwhelmed, that makes you feel more stressed out about all the things that you have to do, or feel like you're just checking off boxes on a to-do list. That's not it. That does not set us up to feel probably how we want to feel going into our day. And I promise you, following someone else's most ideal morning routine is not going to be the thing that leads you to your healthiest self, your most successful self, your dream life. What's going to lead you to the best morning for you is to experiment, play around with things, try things, and over time, learn what actually works well for you versus what doesn't. I know we all really want someone to say, here, do these very specific things and you'll get your desired outcome. Of course, that's what we want. We're only human. But that's not how it works. We are all so different. Our life circumstances are different. And it's even going to change when we are in different seasons of life. What works best for us will change in different seasons of life. So a little bit of experimentation and playing around with things is just part of the process. So now let's dive into the 4 things that I highly recommend implementing into your mornings to help best set you up for your day. So number 1, how your morning goes is largely impacted by how your night went. So if you tend to stay up watching TV until 3 a.m. and your alarm is going off at 7 a.m., no matter what you do in your morning, you're probably not going to feel super energized. There are obviously still things you can do in your morning to help yourself out, but your night plays a huge role. Now, working on the nighttime side of things is a whole other thing, similar but different. I won't dive into that too much here, but just have understanding and awareness that if you want to feel really good going into your day, a good night's sleep is going to help immensely with that. So your initial focus may be to work on your nighttime routine and your sleep hygiene instead. And of course, there are always things that you can do the day or night before to help your mornings flow more easily. So component number 1 is doing something the day or night before to help make your mornings easier or to help you feel how you want to feel in your mornings. Component number 2 is having something to look forward to. It doesn't have to be something that you are just super pumped up about, super excited about. Now, if you have that thing, that's amazing. Definitely find a way to include that in your mornings. But it can also be something pretty small, but something that you do enjoy and something that when you wake up, when your alarm goes off, you look forward to doing it a little bit. For me, it's eating breakfast. My alarm goes off and I'm almost immediately like, okay, awesome, let's go get some food. I am so excited for breakfast. I am such a foodie. I love eating. So that is something I really look forward to in my mornings. I know other people who get really excited to make their latte or make a cup of tea or sit there and read for 10 minutes or journal for a little bit or even go on a morning walk. It really does not matter what it is. The point is, it's something that when your alarm goes off, when it's time for you to wake up and get out of bed, you have something that you're like, oh, okay, there's something I know I'm going to do that I enjoy. There's something that I'm looking forward to doing. Even, again, if it's not the most exciting thing in the world, it still helps. Component number 3 is having something in your morning that helps boost your mood. Now, this can be the same thing as the thing that you're looking forward to or that you get enjoyment from, but it also might take a little bit of experimentation to do a few different types of things and find, okay, what can I do in my mornings that leads me to feel energized or amped up or in a really good mood as I'm walking out the door and starting my day. Or, obviously you might not be walking out of the door if you're working from home, but you get the point. And that can be anything. The world is really your oyster. It can be dancing, it can be journaling, it can be listening to a certain type of music or listening to an uplifting podcast or YouTube video. It might be going for a walk or a run. It might be drinking your latte. Sometimes I drink a latte and boom, mood is top tier. For me, I've really found that moving my body in some kind of way, either going outside for a walk or dancing around, listening to some kind of positive content. It doesn't need to necessarily be motivational, but positive in nature, and having little reminders of who I want to be, the kind of energy I want to carry with me throughout the day is what helps me. Affirmations and mantras are not for everybody, but I really do believe that having something that you can look at, some kind of quote or some kind of mantra that you tell yourself can be so helpful for reminding yourself of the type of energy you want to have or how you want to show up in your day, or even just how you want to feel about yourself. It's kind of crazy just how powerful words can be and how just saying a sentence either out loud or in your head can really help shift how you feel in that moment. And component number 4 is slowness. This does not mean that you need to have an hour to go about your morning routine. This is way less about time and more about how you are actually approaching your morning. It is really easy, especially for some of us, looking at myself here, to be in that go, 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 rushed kind of state. That's just more of our instinctual nature, or maybe just what we've become addicted to for one reason or another. But rushing around and being in go, go, go mode really is not great for our mental state. Again, that's going to lead us to feel more reactive, maybe be more agitated or irritable, or feel more stressed throughout our day, even if it's not super conscious. It might be driving up our cortisol levels, and it might be turning on our sympathetic nervous system, which isn't necessarily bad. It just is probably not the most optimal for how we probably want to start our mornings. So even if you are not taking more time to do things, or if you are not giving yourself a longer period of time to get ready, it's more of a mindset. I've experimented with this for my own health reasons, and being in go, go, go mode, rushing around, trying to do everything as fast as we can to fly out the door and get to work as soon as possible, or, whatever your situation is, does not necessarily or often take less time than if we're doing the same things, but from a calmer, more peaceful state. That may be hard for your brain to believe. I totally get it. My brain would be like, no, of course rushing around helps you go faster. That's the whole reason I rush around. But through my own observations of others and with my own experiences, I promise that you can do the same things in a slower state. You can catch yourself in that go, go, go mode, and you can just tell yourself, okay, slow down, take a deep breath, keep doing all the things you need to do. That doesn't mean you have to lollygag or drag things out and then actually be late to whatever the beginning of your day looks like, but approach it with more slowness. And for some people, that absolutely might mean waking up earlier. That might mean doing things the day or night before to help your mornings go smoother. That might mean not spending much time on your phone in the mornings. But just think about, how can I approach my morning and go about my morning in a state of calm, peace, slowness? And I promise you, you will feel better in your mornings. Now, if you realize that you are at a point where you really want to have better mornings, but you're not necessarily willing to do anything different in your mornings right now, simply approaching your mornings with more intentionality, with more presence, and being more intentional with your thoughts in the morning can make a massive difference. So even if you don't do things differently in the morning, simply working on thinking differently in the morning can have such an impact on how you feel in the morning and how you feel about, approaching your workday. Just by changing our perspective, we can go from driving to work feeling like, oh, okay, another day of work, to All right, I'm excited about today. I'm excited about the people I get to work with. I'm excited about the problems I get to solve. And I will say, we do not ever have to jump from a meh or I don't feel like doing this place to I'm fully excited. But there are always so many different perspectives, and we can catch ourselves when we're in a perspective that is not benefiting us or does not make us feel how we want to feel or show up how we want to show up, and find another perspective that feels true that does help with those things. Changing your thoughts when you hear your alarm go off in the morning alone can make such a difference. You may wake up to your alarm and think, ugh, I feel so tired. I really just want to go back to bed. But we can always switch our thoughts. So we can switch to something like, I'm so excited to go eat breakfast. I can't wait to go make my latte. I'm tired, but I know I'll start to feel better once I start to get moving and get some water in me. We can switch our thoughts to something like, I can't wait to see what happens today. So just remember that our thoughts are really powerful, and not to ever negate how we truly feel, but know that there are always so many different perspectives available to us, and by simply changing what our brain is focusing on or what we're telling ourselves, we can change how we feel and what we do. So we can change how we feel in the morning, we can change how we feel when we hear our alarm going off. Maybe not immediately, it may take a little bit of actually waking up, but as we're getting out of bed or trying to get ourselves to get out of bed. And our thoughts motivate what we do, so we can think thoughts that actually get us out of bed. We can think thoughts that get us to do the things that we want to do in the morning. So to sum it all up, to be happy, healthy, and productive in the mornings, you don't need to have this big, grand morning routine. Get clear on how you want to feel as you go into your day, and then experiment with what actually helps you feel that way. You can absolutely try to completely revamp your morning routine, but if you feel like that's not going to work really well for you right now, you can try just changing or doing 1 to 2 things that will help you feel how you want to feel in your mornings. And great places to start are looking at your nighttime routine, finding something that you enjoy and look forward to in the morning, find something that boosts your mood in the morning, and approaching your morning with a little bit more ease, calm, and slowness. Super simple things can make such a difference. So even if it's waking up 10 minutes earlier, drinking a glass of water as soon as you wake up, having a mantra that you tell yourself each morning, or having tea in the morning because you really enjoy the process of making it, seemingly super small changes can still make such an impact. And lastly, understand that our brains are often going to want to revert back to what it's most used to doing. So if you find yourself immediately going back into the morning routine that you've had for a long time now, even if you wouldn't deem it a routine, it's what you're doing, so that's your current morning routine. That's completely normal. That's just the brain reverting back to what it's most used to, which is how our brains operate. Reminders are super helpful for getting us to do things differently than we're used to, so you can write down the things that you want to start implementing in your day. Write down what you want your routine to look like so that you can refer back to it, especially in the morning when we're half asleep anyway. We might completely forget. We might know, okay, I know I wanted to do things differently, but I don't remember exactly what it was that I wanted to change or start doing. And it can even be a reminder that just says slowness. Reminders in general are just really helpful when it comes to change. If you'd like a video on my personal process of reminding myself of who I want to be and how I want to show up in my day to help me rewire my brain and be the version of me that I want to be, then go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And if you really enjoyed this video, I know that you'll enjoy this one too, so check it out. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to upgrade yourself and your life, go ahead and hit subscribe and stick around.